The White House has taken notice of your critiques, and they have actually responded. Listen to what Mick Mulvaney said about your response.
I went back and looked at some of the economic assumptions that the Obama administration made in its first couple of years. And I want to say, on a couple of different occasions, their assumed growth rate was more than 4.5%. Keep in mind, this is the first administration in history, okay? It was the first decade, the first 8-year period in history not to have a 3% growth rate. Yet they were promising us 4.5% growth. So if Larry wants to talk about unreasonable assumptions, we talk about my 3% growth rate and his 4.5%, and we'll talk about who actually is closer to reality.
Wow. Did you have a projection of 4.5%, Larry?
Director Mulvaney is being dishonest.
Really?
Here's the deal. We had at an unemployment rate of 10.8%, at an unemployment rate of 10%, when there was huge amounts of room for the economy to grow cyclically, we did what we always did in the Obama administration, what every administration except this one has done for 40 years. We took the economic growth forecasts of the Congressional Budget Office, the blue chip consensus of professional forecasters, of the Federal Reserve. We took the consensus economic forecast and we used it. The consensus economic forecast was starting from a big recession for rapid growth. And we used that forecast, and we, along with the consensus, were wrong.
Well, why is
but that's very different.
What was dishonest
because he's suggesting that we had used the same practice as their practice. They are the first to depart from what the whole big world thinks. We knew when we were in government that we were obviously going to like our programs a lot, and we were going to think that we were going to do fantastic things. And so we disciplined ourselves by saying that our forecast had to follow the outsider forecast. And he knows that. And he knows that he's in an entirely different place of not following the professional consensus, and he's just trying to muddy the waters. Yes, our forecasts were sometimes too high, our forecasts were sometimes too low. Nobody can forecast the economy precisely. The question is, do you try to make an honest forecast by using outsiders, or do you try to create your own narrative that isn't supported by any outsiders? I mean, there's a good analogy. This is like, do companies get to report their financial statements with auditors or without auditors? With accountants or without accountants?
Well, to be clear, this is a policy blueprint, and obviously it's going to get marked up. I mean, all presidents' budgets, right? This is an idea from the president, and then it's going to go to Capitol Hill and get marked up. So this is not the budget that it's going to be after going through Congress.
Thank God.
Okay.
Thank God. Thank God this budget's going to be marked up. But all previous budgets have been an internally consistent, honestly accounted for statement of the president's vision. This is an assumption about growth without recognizing in the budget the thing that's supposed to generate the growth in the form of tax cuts. And this is a forecast in terms of growth that has no external validation.